What's going on, everybody? Dave here, and today I want to talk about designing monsters, specifically what you can do to create cooler monsters for your next D&D or other TTRPG session. It's very easy to create monsters for D&D 5e. Give them an AC, some hit points, and some actions to do in combat, and voila, you're done, right? Well, you could be, but that could be a little boring. In this video, I want to give tips how to make realistic monsters, and I'm going to give some examples of what I'm talking about. Now, if you want cool, interesting monsters, they need to make sense. Of course, you could call it a monstrosity, say a wizard did it, and that's why it's the way it is. And that works sometimes, especially if you use the monster to say something about the wizard or group of wizards who created the monster. Is the creature an amalgamation of a bunch of apex guardians? Well, then that group of wizards was probably really into keeping their knowledge or treasures from getting out. And this is one way to make your world feel real, to feel lived in. Another way to do this is to make monsters whose abilities make sense. Now, that seems obvious, but it doesn't always end up that way. Sometimes homebrewed and even professionally designed monsters come out having somewhat random abilities. Creators are so busy trying to create a memorable monster that sometimes it becomes memorable for the wrong reasons. Your monsters don't have to be unique, but they should be distinct. Oftentimes, people are designing monsters for a specific quest or as a boss for a cool dungeon. They have a location in mind and are making a monster to fill it, which leads to the first thing you should think of when designing interesting monsters, and that is, where do they live? What is their habitat like? These two aren't exactly the same. A domicile or a lair is different from a habitat. For our example, we are going to make a monster for an Arctic environment. I feel like those areas are underrepresented in monster books. Maybe they are underrepresented in campaigns, and that's why they are underrepresented in monster books, but I don't have any data to back that up. Now that we know where it lives, we need to decide what it eats. Because this is a monster, we are going to make it a carnivore, one that hunts for its food, so that your players have to worry about becoming its next meal. I've decided to make an ambush predator, which means it should have proficiency in stealth. In an Arctic environment, it will need to be white to blend in, making it harder for it to be seen. I feel like this means it has advantage on stealth checks when hiding in snow, and if it makes its kills by ambushing creatures while it's hiding in snow, it isn't using its eyes to see, meaning the thing is going to need to have tremor sense. We found its niche in its habitat, but what does the environment tell us about it? Well, we already know it's white to blend in with the snow. It lives in a cold environment. Extreme cold requires constitution saving throws to avoid gaining levels of exhaustion, in D&D at least, unless you're resistant to cold. So I feel this monster should be either resistant to cold damage or have good con and proficiency in constitution saving throws. Or if you want a tough monster, give it both. So I did that. I also think it would be either really hairy or have thick skin to keep warm. Either of those things would give it a decent AC with natural armor. It should be strong to deal a lot of damage in a few attacks and to drag its kill back to its lair afterwards. Now, it just needs a cool name, maybe. Your players may never learn its name. I was using the working title of Arctic Ambusher and was like, that's not great. But it's alliterative, which makes it sound cooler than it really is. So that's what I'm going with. The nitty-gritty of the numbers are important here. You can tailor them to the level of your players or the system you're running. This was 5e or 5.5e centric because that's what I designed the monster for, but you can take what I said and apply it to other systems as well. What's important is that you've created something that plausibly lives in your world. That's fun for your players. That's memorable. It's a bit of work, but not a lot. I mean, this video isn't very long, is it? Thank you all for watching. I hope this video was helpful. Subscribe to the channel for more videos like this one to help your tabletop games. Share it with anyone you think would find it helpful or even just enjoyable. And if you want more monster videos, check out the other videos on my channel. And as always, have a great rest of your day.